Joining us now is Republican Congressman from Florida, Greg Steube. Congressman, what's your reaction to President Trump's rally in New Hampshire last night?
Well, he's been doing it all over the country. I talked to one of the members that went to the New Jersey rally that he had, and there was like 175,000 people that had RSVP'd and tried to attend. I mean, just astronomical numbers. I mean, we've never seen in the history of our country a president where he goes places, has tens of thousands of people, and have people lined up outside for days beforehand to try to get in. I mean, obviously, it's a level of enthusiasm that we haven't seen, at least in our time recently in the history of our United States, and just shows how much support the president has all across the country, not just in the state where I represent in Florida, but all over the country.
Congressman, we talked to Congressman Biggs earlier about this. The president unveiled his 2021 budget yesterday. A lot of people here, as you know, criticizing him because he cut a lot of domestic programs. He also downsized the EPA and foreign services. Do you agree with the president's decision to make some of those cuts? And what are some of them that you do agree with?
Absolutely. Washington has a spending problem. I campaigned on it before I got elected, and we need to really rein in our deficit. We are now at $23 trillion. Last year alone, we put almost $1 trillion on the deficit alone. By 2021, if we don't start paying down our deficit, just our interest payments on the debt alone will surpass health, DOJ, Justice, VA, and NASA's budget combined. So we absolutely need to look at that. And when I go back into the district in Florida, I talk to voters, and that's one of the things they tell me. They love everything the president's doing, but what can we do to rein in spending? And unfortunately, we have a Democratic-led Congress that all they want to do is spend, spend, spend. I mean, you hear some of their different candidates, and what they're talking about would be 40, 50, 70 trillion dollars in some type of program, and we only take in 4.5 trillion a year. So we absolutely need to cut some of these programs. There are programs like you mentioned, the EPA, which, in my opinion, should be a state-run program. We shouldn't have a federal EPA dishing out federal policy. It should be at the state level. Those are the type of things that can be done at the state level, and so we absolutely need to cut our spending here in Washington.
What programs do you believe should be more paid attention to on a federal level then?
At a federal level, obviously defense, and the president has done a great job of putting more money in defense. You've seen record spending in the defense areas, which is we've given bonuses and pay increases to our military who absolutely need that. Absolutely the number one issue, in my opinion, that should always get increases in federal spending, and we should make sure that is funded appropriately, is our national defense and homeland security.
I want to get your thought on this. The president calling for an investigation into what sparked the Ukraine impeachment probe. Congressman, do you support that effort?
Well, yeah, we know that John Durham is investigating that right now. I hope that we can hear what's going to come of that investigation soon. So he's investigating some of that. But if there are individuals, and we know, because we have the Horowitz report, we have the IG report, we know there's 17 different instances where there's FBI individuals who either lied or didn't tell the whole truth or didn't give other information to the FISA court that should have been given to the FISA court, exculpatory information. So if there were crimes that were committed and people were dishonest in getting those warrants to spy on the Trump campaign, absolutely there should be justice there, and that should be investigated. And if people aren't held accountable in the FBI and the DOJ who are involved in those type of things, then it's just going to happen again. So I 100% support investigating what started this whole thing and ensuring that those who broke any of our laws are held to justice.
All right, that's Republican Congressman from Florida, Greg Steube. Thanks so much for joining us on American Agenda.